Yes, so let us solve a nice problem. So the question is, prove that prove that 21m plus 4 by 14m plus 3, 21m plus 4 by 14m plus 3 is irreducible is irreducible for every natural number m, for every natural number m. Fine. So now you try to understand what is the meaning of irreducible. Irreducible means this is a fraction, right? Prove that the fraction, let me include, prove that the fraction 21m plus 4 by 14m plus 3 is irreducible for for every natural number m, right? If you take any natural number m, let us say m equal to 1, you will get 25 by 17. This is irreducible, means you can't further simplify this, right? For example, if I take 15 by 6, then this is reducible, right? You can write 3 2s are 6, 3 5s are 15, and you can write this as 5 by 2. So this is reducible. So 15 by 6 is a reducible fraction. And why is it reducible fraction? Because there is a common number between 6 and 5, right? That is GCD of 6 and 15. This is 3. That's why this is reducible. For example, if I take say 24 by 16, then you can write it as 3 by 2, because GCD of 24 and 16, it is 8. So you can, take 8 common and you can cancel 8 from both the numerator and denominator, right? But when is a fraction irreducible? For example, if I have say 15 by 4, can you further reduce it? No. So this is irreducible. Why it is irreducible? Because there is nothing common here in 4 and 15. Because 4 is how much? It is 2 square. 15 is 3 into 5. So there is no prime common here. So you can't cancel any prime. So you can't reduce it further. So this is irreducible because there is nothing common. Means nothing common means GCD of 14 and 4, 15 and 4 is 1. Right? Nothing common means what? GCD is 1. So because the GCD of 15 and 4 is 1, then there is nothing common and there is nothing to cancel here, so it is an irreducible fraction. So now I think you got what is the meaning of irreducible and reducible fraction. The question he is asking you to prove that this fraction 21m plus 4 by 14m plus 3 is irreducible fraction for every natural number m. It means, let us try this with some m values, right? You have 21m plus 4 by 14m plus 3, right? So if m equal to 1, then this fraction is what? 21 plus 4, 25 by 17. You can see this is irreducible. If you put m equal to 2, then this is 21 2s are 42, 42 plus 4 is 46 by 14 2s are 28 plus 3, this is 31. You can see that this is also irreducible. This is also irreducible. So this is irreducible for every natural number m. That is the problem asking us to prove, right? That is the question asking us. You need to prove that this is irreducible. So how will we prove? This is just, we have taken one example, right? But we need to prove this for every natural number. Now we can't take each and every natural number up to infinite and show this. That is not possible. So we need to prove it in general, right? So what I am saying is, let us say P is a common divisor. P divides 21m plus 4 and P divides 14m plus 3. So now I am assuming that this is reducible, because I am assuming that P is a common divisor. Let us say P and P, I can cancel it. So now if P divides 21m plus 4 and P divides 14m plus 3, then P must also divide a linear combination of this. And now you see I am using the Bezout's identity, because what I am doing is I am writing 2 into 21m plus 4 minus 3 into 14m plus 3, because this 42 and 42m will get cancelled, and finally I will get 2 4s are 8 minus 9 minus 1, right? So I can write 3 into 14m plus 3 minus 2 into 21m plus 4 is 1, right? So now since P divides 21m plus 4 and P divides 14m plus 3, so P should also divide a linear combination of these two, isn't it? So P also divides a linear combination of these two, that is 3 into 14m plus 3 minus 2 into 21m plus 4. P also divides this, so this means what? P divides 1, and P divides 1 means what? P is nothing but plus minus 1. So since this 21m plus 4 and 14m plus 3 are natural, I am saying that P is 1, that is GCD of 21m plus 4 and 14m plus 3, this is 1 for all m, for every natural number, that is for all m belongs to n, right? Then this simply means that 21m plus 4 by 14m plus 3 is irreducible, isn't it? Because the GCD is 1, right? If the GCD is 1 for every natural number m, the GCD is 1 only, that is what we have proven. So you can't cancel anything here, so it is an irreducible. There is nothing common here, so what will you cancel? So it is irreducible, right? Also, you can use the Bezout's identity directly, right? You can do it in this way also, that you can just say that 3 into 14m plus 3 minus 2 into 21m plus 4, this is 1. Now since there exists integers x and y for which xa plus yb equal to 1, right? That is xa plus yb equal to 1 for some integers x and y. This means what? X and a and b are co-prime. This means that GCD of a and b is 1, right? This is the Bezout's identity, and this is also true. It is true both ways. So I can say that simply, I can say from this statement that GCD of 14m plus 3 and 21m plus 4 is always 1, right? So this means that this is irreducible because GCD is 1. Fine, this is irreducible for all m belongs to n, because GCD is 1 for all m belongs to n, so it is irreducible for all m belongs to n. So I hope this problem is clear. Yes, let us solve one more question. Let us solve one more. So the question is, show that 39 divides 7 power 37 plus 13 power 37 plus 19 power 37. This is the question. Now you see, I want to prove that 39 divides this entire thing. So instead of proving it directly with 39, let me break 39 in as 3 into 13, right? And clearly GCD of 3 and 13 is how much? It is 1. So then if I can prove, right, what I am saying is, if I can prove that 3 divides this expression, like I am calling this expression as a, this entire number I am calling it as a. If 3 divides a, and if I can prove that 13 also divides a, then since GCD of 3 and 13 is 1, we have studied this property, then this means that 3 into 13 will divide a, that is 39 will divide a, isn't it? We have studied this property, right? That if a divides c and b divides c and GCD of ab is 1, this means that ab also divides c. This is the property which we have studied, isn't it? So if I can prove that 3 divides a and 13 divides a, then definitely 3 into 13, 39 divides a, because GCD of 3 and 13 is 1. This is very important. If this is not 1, then we can't do it in this way, right? Then this statement would be not valid. Yes, so first let us prove that 13 divides this. Fine. So how can you do that? So first part is that part 1, let us prove 13 divides 7 power 37 plus 13 power 37 plus 19 power 37, right? So clearly 13 divides 13 power 37, so I need to prove that 13 divides 7 power 37 and 19 power 37. This is clearly I can say. So I need to prove this one, right? Because if this entire thing is a multiple of 13, and if this individual is a multiple of 13, then remaining term also should be a multiple of 13. We have discussed this property already so many times. that A divides B plus C, and A divides B means A divides C also. So I need to prove that 13 divides 7 power 37 plus 19 power 37. So this is very clear that we have studied A power n plus B power n is divisible by A plus B if n is odd. This is property which we have studied. So clearly, since 37 is odd, 7 power 37 plus 19 power 37 is divisible by 7 plus 19, which is 26. So this implies 13 also divides this thing, right? 13 also divides 7 power 37 plus 19 power 37, because 26 divides, right? If 26 is a factor, then 13 is definitely a factor, isn't it? So first part is proved, right? This divides this, and 13 clearly divides this. So I can say 13 divides A from this and this, isn't it? A is nothing but this entire expression. So now next, part 2. In part 2 I need to prove that 3 divides 7 power 37 plus 13 power 37 plus 19 power 37, right? So now you see, now I'll use this property that ax plus b whole power n is nothing but multiple of a plus b power n, right? By binomial theorem only, right? If you use the binomial theorem and expand, you'll get nc0 a power n ax whole power n plus nc1 ax whole power n minus 1 b plus so on, and ncn minus 1 ax into b power n minus 1 plus b power n. So you can see that each and every term before the last b power n is a multiple of a, right? Everywhere you have a. So this is nothing but multiple of a plus b power n, right? This property I am using. So let us use this property. This is a very important property. We have used in assignments also, we have used so many questions also, right? So all these properties are very important. A power n plus b power n is divisible by a plus b if n is odd. A divides b plus c and a divides b means a divides c. That is very intuitive. Yes, so let us prove this. So 7 power 37, this is what? 2 into 3 plus 1 whole power 37, right? So this is ax plus b whole power n, right? So this is multiple of 3 plus 1 power 37, that is 3 lambda plus 1. Similarly, 13 power 37 is also 3 into 4 plus 1 whole power 37. So this is some 3m plus 1. And 19 power 37 is also what? 3 multiple plus 1 whole power 37. So this is also 3 multiple plus 1. So now a, which is 7 power 37 plus 13 power 37 plus 19 power 37 is 3 lambda m n plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So this is a multiple of 3, right? So clearly 3 divides a, isn't it? So therefore, since 3 divides a, 13 divides a, and GCD of 3 and 13 is 1, then I can say that 39 divides a. Fine. So you just copy the solution, and you can pause the video, copy the solution, and let us move to the next problem. So you need to show that 30 divides n power 5 minus n. 30 divides n power 5 minus n. This is what you need to prove. So you can pause the video, try this problem, and then come back to see the solution. See, first what idea is coming to my mind is n power 5 minus n. Let us just factorize this. N is common, so this is n power 4 minus 1, and this is n square minus 1, n square plus 1. So this is n minus 1, n plus 1 into n square plus 1, right? This is n power 5 minus n. So again, 30 is how much? 2 into 3 into 5, right? And you can see that all these 2 3 GCD is 1, 3 5 GCD is 1, and 2 5 GCD is also 1. So all these are mutually co-prime. So if I can prove let us call this expression as A only. Again, if I can prove that 2 divides A, 3 divides A and 5 divides A, then this implies 30 divides A, right? Because now all of these should be 1, all these should be co-prime, 2 3 should be co-prime, 3 5 should be co-prime, 2 5 should be co-prime, then only I can say that 30 divides this entire thing, right? See, because 30 you have split it into prime, best way to prove that is you split this 30 as product of primes, and now you prove that each number divides this, right? So if each prime divides this, then simply multiple of all the primes also divide this, right? Because I mean 2 3 5 individually cut different parts, right? 2 and 3 can't cancel the same parts in A, they will cancel different parts, so product also will definitely able to cancel the A, so you will get this as an integer. So I hope that this idea is very clear to you. Now first thing, see, n power 5 minus n, you got it as n minus 1 n plus 1 into n square plus 1. So see, these are three consecutive integers, so definitely we know that if there are three consecutive integers, exactly one is a multiple of 3. So exactly one is a multiple of 3, and since there are three consecutive, definitely you will have at least one multiple of 2, one even number, definitely. Also you can see that three consecutive integers are divisible by 3 factorial, right? We have learned that n consecutive integers, right, product of r consecutive integers is divisible by r factorial. This we have learned in the fundamentals. Product of r consecutive integers is divisible by r factorial. So this is divisible by 3 factorial, which is 6. So I have proved that this is divisible by 3 and also 2, right? Because 6 is nothing but 2 into 3. So 6 is a factor, means 2 is a factor and 3 is a factor. Now finally we have to prove, so 2 divides A, 3 divides A, we have proved these two things. So we have to prove 5 divides A. Okay, so let us prove that 5 divides A. So for this what I am doing is, see, if 5 divides n minus 1 or n plus 1, then we are already done. If 5 divides n minus 1 or 5 divides n or 5 divides n plus 1, right, that is if one of n minus 1 n plus 1 is a multiple of 5, then clearly 5 divides A, right? So let us take that, see, when is n minus 1 a multiple of 5? This is a multiple of 5 when is 5k plus 1, n is a multiple of 5 if n is 5k, and n plus 1 is a multiple of 5 if n is 5k minus 1, right? So I hope this is clear. N minus 1 is multiple of 5 means what? N minus 1 is 5k, so n is 5k plus 1. N is multiple of 5 means n is 5k, and n plus 1 is multiple of 5 means n plus 1 is 5k, so n is 5k minus 1. So clearly 5 divides A, if n is of the form 5k or 5k plus 1 or 5k minus 1, then in all these cases clearly 5 divides A. Now what are the leftover cases? If n is of the form 5k plus 2 and 5k minus 2, these are the only leftover cases, right? Because if you divide a natural number n with 5, you will get 0 remainder, 1 remainder, 2 remainder, and 3 remainder is nothing but minus 2, right? 5k plus 3 is same as 5k minus 2, and 5k plus 4 remainder is same as 5k minus 1. So we are proved for all possible cases, right? So for 3 we are already done. If n is 5k, then n itself is a multiple of 5, so A is a multiple of 5. If n is 5k plus 1, so n minus 1 is multiple, so A is also multiple of 5. And if n is 5k plus 1, if n is 5k minus 1, then n plus 1 is a multiple of 5, so A is multiple of 5. Then the only leftover cases is what happens when n is 5k plus 2 and 5k minus 2. So in that case we will prove that n square plus 1 is a multiple of 5, right? So if n is phi k and plus 2 and phi k minus 2, will prove that n square plus 1 is a multiple of phi. Will prove that n square plus 1 is a multiple of phi. Then only I can say that our A is a multiple of phi, right? N square plus 1 is a multiple of phi. So what is n square? N square is nothing but phi lambda plus 2 square, right? Because if n is phi k plus 2 or phi k minus 2, in both cases n square will be phi lambda plus 2 square only. Again the same property, ax plus b whole power n is multiple of a plus b power n. So plus 2 whole square or minus 2 whole square, it is the same thing. So n square plus 1 is phi lambda plus 2 square plus 1. This is phi lambda plus phi. This is phi L, right? So if n is phi k plus 2, phi k minus 2 form, then n square plus 1 is a multiple of phi. That is phi divides n square plus 1, then phi divides a. So you can see that if n is of these three forms, then also phi divides a, and if n is of these two forms, then also phi divides a. So basically in any case phi divides a, right? In each and every case phi divides a. In each and every case, right? In each and every case means for all n belongs to n, right? Every case means what? For any natural number n, phi divides a, because any natural number n will be any one of these forms, phi k plus 1, phi k minus 1, phi k plus 2, phi k minus 2, and in each and every form we have proved that phi divides a. So for all n belongs to n, phi divides a. Therefore since 2 divides a, 3 divides a, 5 divides a, I can clearly say that 30 divides a. So I hope you have understood the solution. So you can pause the video and you can copy the solution. Now you can see I'll do this problem in a very elegant way. This will happen in just one step. So you can see that n power phi minus n, I have written this as n minus 1 into n plus 1 into n square plus 1, right? So now you see I am doing a clever manipulation here. N square plus 1 I am writing it as n square minus 4 plus 5. Fine. Minus 4 plus 5 is 1 only. So this is n minus 1 into n plus 1 into n square minus 4 plus some 5 into n minus 1 n plus 1. So clearly this thing is a multiple of phi only. This thing is adjusted. We need to prove that this is a multiple of phi. So this is n minus 1 n plus 1, n square minus 4 is n minus 2 n plus 2 plus some phi lambda, right? So this you can see n minus 2 n minus 1 n plus 1 n plus 2 plus phi lambda. So in phi consecutive integers, exactly 1 will be a multiple of phi, clearly, right? Also you can say that phi consecutive integers, this is divisible by phi factorial, right? So this is phi factorial into k plus 5 into lambda, and phi factorial into k is nothing but a multiple of phi only. So this is phi k plus phi lambda. Let us say this is phi l plus phi lambda. Fine. Also I mean we need to prove that this is divisible by 30, right? So what I am doing is I am writing this as, okay, yeah, I mean let us do it in this way only. This is phi factorial into k plus phi lambda. So this is, I mean phi factorial is nothing but also multiple of phi, so phi l plus phi lambda. So clearly phi divides a, and since these are three numbers, definitely you will have multiple of 2 and multiple of, from here only we can say that 2 divides a and 3 divides a, because there are three consecutive numbers, so one will be a multiple of 2 and one will be a multiple of 3. So here you will get the answer in 2 steps only. Fine. So I think this thing is clear to you.